the end game, which we also saw Batman Booga do as well, which just gives you a little bit more safety.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about that duo is that I actually don't think it's been one of their best performances, but they're just doing enough right to stay within that threshold. I think we're having to see it come down to a lot of individual brilliance from each one in these end games, right? How many games have we seen now where Clix is hitting a couple big back-to-back shots, then he goes down, or Epic World's doing the same thing? Again, it's like they've not been playing the best, but they're making things happen, they're making things work. What happens in these last couple games, Kelly, when they maybe do start to play at their best?
I mean, I'm excited to see. I think the only issue that we're having here is that these mid-game engagements that they're having, they're using a lot of mats and then not able to recover that towards the end game.
Yeah.
So if they're able to kind of work around that a little bit, they're going to have a much better time in our final two games.
And on top of that, many duos, right, finding themselves in these situations where it's just a solo rider. They're kind of finding these engagements where they're trying to split up the map as much as they can, and then suddenly a duo's waiting. They're strike, hey, this person's by himself, take them down. I feel like, you know, is that the kind of route we want to go? Is that high risk, high reward worth it? Savage earlier on, the very beginning of the show was like, yeah, it's a risk, it's a reward, but is that worth it?
Which route would you go, Zeke?
Nah, man, I'm too safe.
No, Zeke, no, I just want to know, like, which route would you go?
I would go safe.
It doesn't matter what route you go. We don't care about what Zeke has to say.
See, I walked into it.
I don't care what Zeke has to say. Look, if you are one of those players, I think ultimately in crunch time, because this is crunch time now for a lot of these players.
Yeah.
You just got to go with what you're used to, what the formula is. I don't think you should do anything too dissimilar to what's gotten you here. You've been such a phenomenal player, you know, at times this year. That's why you're sitting on that stage right now. Don't switch up anything too crazy. Don't get too, you know, insane up there.
And I think we are seeing that from a lot of our solar players. I think we actually saw it from Agers in game number 2, where he was able to use incredible rotates through his augments. And even though he was kind of dodging all of these players, he was able to use exactly what he had in his toolbox and use that to his advantage and be able to place even higher than what we would expect him to in a solo situation.
For sure. Kanata there. He's just doing him, you know, being him. There was a duo I did want to highlight. It's Cal Gamer and 7man from Middle East. Right now, it's looking like this could be the second Middle Eastern team to qualify, go into grand finals.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And we saw how confident Cal Gamer was yesterday, right?
Ooh,
you know, when he was being interviewed, you know, the most confident man in the arena potentially, you know, how confident he was, and understandably so, right? They've you know, had success in their region, you know, back-to-back major champions over there, and now sort of looking to deliver here. And I think it's been a much better day from them, right? We've been seeing them over, you know, being able to claim the mythic weapons and sort of go about their day in a much more controlled and comfortable manner.
Yeah, that mythic MK7 definitely helped them out just a little bit, but also their positioning, even in situations, again, right here, where we see him in a solo situation, able to do whatever he can, grabbing 6 eliminations before being dropped, and using these opportunities also to third-party other players, grab as many elimination points as they can too. I mean, again, I've said it a few days ago, Cal Gamer is an incredibly intelligent player. He just studies the game more than anyone that I know, and that's showcased today.
For sure. I wanted to highlight Brazil here for a moment. We saw them performing well just a couple games ago. PH Zin and Kitos. I feel like, you know, we haven't quite had the BR representation as we did at Invitational, but I still hear y'all up there, which is crazy. For PHN and Kitos, I want to see more of their play. I kind of want to see more of what they're capable of.
I mean, we saw what they were capable of in game number 2 there, grabbing a handful of eliminations and finding at the exact right moment on the mid ground to make their move to the high ground. And that's what put them up into the very final moments of that game.
I think the interesting thing with a team like this, right, is the pressure that comes with having done well at an event before, right, where people sort of come into this one going, hey, we expect Kitos and PHN to come in and do their thing. And obviously, you know, when you're playing here in that sort of lower bracket, it isn't necessarily where you'd want to be and where you'd want to have to do it, but they have still showed up where necessary today, and I think that's been impressive. Some of these shots here were absolutely spectacular, and so more of that tomorrow would definitely be ideal for sure.
And of course, another Brazilian team, King and Phaser, showing up so huge. See, there we go. That's right. We got to give the French community a run for their money, BR. That's what this is about. Thank you.
Zeke's trying to start rioting here, man. You got to calm down.
I just want, we all are here because of our love for Fortnite. And if that means we go crazy, we chant, we cheer, we laugh, we cry, I'm about that life. But for King and for Phaser, King has surprised me. I feel like for me, King is one of those guys, it just doesn't matter what his situation is in. He's like, I've got nothing, doesn't matter. All I have is 2 sniper rifles. That's crazy. How about double headshots? Like, he just is so adaptable so quickly. I don't know how anyone could deal with that if they were to go all the way.
I mean, we saw King set himself up for success as well, and I just think that it hasn't really worked the way that they've wanted to just yet for today. Obviously, we saw the incredible snipe headshots yesterday, and we saw him again earlier on in the day today with, I think it was 2 snipers, so he's definitely prepping himself for that moment once again, but he's just missing the mark a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because again, it's like the highlight plays have been there. You know, no doubt about that. We're getting them highlight plays, but we want to see more by way of the actual standings on the leaderboard, right? 43rd place. We want to see them a lot higher than that. We want to see them competing tomorrow, ideally.
For sure, for sure. Is there any duos that are standing out to you we haven't had a chance to cover yet?
I mean,
We want to see
Batman Booga.
more.
I've already talked about them though.
Okay,
Yeah,
you can't. Yeah, again with the NA West, Kelly's always like, yeah.
Any
you want me to talk about
opportunity.
a duo? How about someone for NA West?
Oh, you know what? Have we talked about them yet? I don't know if we talked about them.
Okay, all right. What do you want to talk about Batman Booga
Oh,
besides him being incredible?
He's incredible. That's all I wanted to say.
Any opportunity to bring up an NAS team. Let me just bring up a random EU team. Just bring up any EU team and let's just talk. You know,
That's
what we're
why I
gonna
have all of you separate. It's like I want to talk about NA.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Vivid, where's he?
Yeah,
NA West.
yeah.
Kelly, where's she? 11-2K, Mini Minor, EU. It's just an easy little moment there to do. I wanted to kind of highlight here a listen in from Dukes and Edgy. Wanted to see and catch up with their comms in one of their plays. Take a look.
3 minis. I'm like pretty shammed.
You just crash bed in from here.
Okay. Look for Surge. Do them. 55 above. Look, hard left.
Okay.
Got cracked. 30 blue.
Yeah. Play
These teams are
back,
getting
right,
they're
right,
jumping, they're
second
jumping. Look.
Spray
Spray this.
They're not danger, they're not danger. Okay.
Spray this.
100.
33 white.
Dead.
Can you crash on us?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah. I'm doing it.
It curves to the left. I'm in.
Nice. I got 2 kills there.
Man, I still just cannot believe that moment from Dukes earlier. I just look at Edgy going,
Oh my gosh.
we did not get to see that before. I'm so thankful we have a million cameras pointed at the stage because, man, just to celebrate and bask in that moment, like a victory out. Let's just be clear here. Your duo doesn't always need to get a victory out to place high, right? Consistency will always be king. But man, does that victory out feel good, especially in an arena like this, in front of these fans.
Yeah, that's the joy of a man who knows he's been saved at the end there, you know? when Eddie went down, he was thinking, oh no, it's 2v2, I've just gone down, oh my goodness. And then Duke clutches and he's like, let's go, you know? He realizes in that moment, like, everything went to plan, you know, nothing wrong there. And of course, right, both incredible players, you know, we saw them during Major 2 and they won. And a lot of people, you know, sort of looked at them and went, yeah, man, it was a bit of a fluke. I don't know how these guys did it, but they're here to prove people wrong, right? You know, it wasn't a fluke. These are very good players, top players within their region. And I think they can keep hitting shots like, you know, Dukes was hitting towards the end there. Boy, oh boy, we're going to be in for a treat.
Yeah, it was absolutely an incredible run. Dukes himself just didn't seem like he even knew what he did right there or how it happened, but he should be feeling good after that.
Just like an instant, like instincts take over, snap headshot, victory out. Just another day in the life of Dukes. Now, a duo, I feel like y'all Danish fans would be excited about Steno and Lushi. Looking to qual here. Yeah, Danish fans. We got Danish fans, BR fans, French fans. We got it all. Collecting them all like Infinity Stones. Fantastic stuff. But these guys right now sitting in 8th place. Talk to me about this duo. Maybe some fans are just tuning in. They've had a kind of a long day. They want to catch up on some Fortnite. Talk to me about it.
Listen, Steno and Lushi started the day off strong, and I'm ready to see them in game number 4.
These guys do what they do. It's typical Danish duo, very consistent, very efficient in their actions, and they're delivering today.
Well, speaking of delivering, it is time. Game number 4 is upon us. So let's kick it on over to the casters to take us in.
Thank you so much, Zeke. Great games we've been having. I'm joined with the great Monster D-Face as well.
Hey man, listen, when you see us, you know the games are just about here, and it sounds like we're gonna be gearing up here shortly. I can't wait, especially after those explosive clutch moments from Dukes, and it sounds like game number 4 is ready.
This is the moment. We saw it yesterday. Big games in Game 4. Outside of the bubble, teams were able to qualify. The same thing happened in Game 5, but now their backs are up against the wall with no choice but to go big or go home.
Go big or go home is the name of the game. We have these bubble teams contesting one another. The Shattered Labs, the story of Snazy and Podesai is only just beginning. They are not quite safe yet, but neither is Tahi. Neither is Death, who are just to the north of them, all of which are on that same exact threshold. Here we have Jaymon, Moneymaker, Yuma, Fination just nearby. They go for the pickaxe play. It's not going to be enough. Down goes one. Can they get the second now?
Yeah, that's tough. They're in 20th place, Moneymaker and Fanayan, to start this game off. So if they go down here, that's going to really put things in a tough spot. But Yuma and Jaymon, they're definitely picking up the pace, especially after that loss off spawn battle in that last game. They're finally figuring out where he's hiding. And Moneymaker's really just thinking outside of the box. Any nook, any cranny that he can fit in, he's going ahead and trying to hide and trying to keep them on the run, going in and outside of the same covers. But eventually he's going to have to go ahead and run into both of these players unless he can get the launch pad and get out. And that's exactly what he's going to do to stay alive.
Wow. Yuma is going to spot him, though. He puts a couple tags down. Very crucial, but not enough to finish the job. Alba, Yuma, and Jaymon, of course, representing for the Asia region. That elimination alone jumps them up 3 or 4 spots, putting them in the upper 30s now. That just shows you how close the cutoff is for top 25. This truly is the story now on the back half. It's the race to the finish line, but for some, they might be gasping out just trying to get there.
This is huge. Another battle off spawn towards Creaky Compound. Fahad and Hero, who's trying to make up for all that lost time early on in the day. Quickly trying to capture Creaky Compound. And there's a strength in numbers, I've been saying all weekend long, but it's here on the flag as well. As long as both of them are standing in it, they're gonna get it much faster to try to get that loot as we try to capture everything that's gone down. You see Hero already with 1 elimination, and Skits, that's gonna be the second one. And that's a must-have because Skits and his duo were having such a hot streak out of the gates, much better than they performed yesterday.
Absolutely. Crazy to think how many performances have been seen as far as above average from the NA side. So many of the NA teams are literally putting themselves closer and closer towards the finals. I don't think that's been emphasized enough, how well of a performance they've had, and I'm here to champion for them as I'm, of course, been rooting in the background. But Vatch and Pamsteel, of course, if they make it to Sunday, they will be giving Cammy and Seti an issue there, so we'll see what happens. All these qualifications do matter. Staying in data still, sneaking up.
Taking a page out of Misha and Tini's playbook, something we haven't really seen anybody else do but them. Instead of hiding in a bush, though, they're ready to pounce. They realize they are separated just enough for their liking as they continuously try to creep in. Fahad's going to try to get away, but the shot strike, more than half of his HP is going to be gone. And that leaves Hero to try to run, cover the distance, get there as fast as possible. And I think this is going to come out into a 2v2 situation with Stain and Datus having the advantage early on.
ME versus Asia right here, right now, but a third party comes in to put their influence into the mix. That was almost a perfectly coordinated attack from our favorites here, Stain and Datus, and now the problem lies in their side. They've been hurt big time here. The compound no longer safe, and there is also a solo in the mix here, making his way south through. Meanwhile, we jump over with Kitos here, setting up the ambush onto Raru.
Trying to go in, nice little sneak shot, but he ain't gonna fall for that bait. Kitos quickly trying to back up, take the high ground back. Jin is right there by his side, but Greedy's trying to chop him down to size. Both of these duos try to reunite one another. Jin, not very many heals left, and instantly it's Kitos who shares. Oh, but the snipe from the side.
Wow.
They forgot about the top of the mountain. Jin goes down and leaves a lot of pressure on the Kitos to try to clutch up. Raru and Greedy, they're the ones trying to take advantage of it as well.
And the awareness from Raru to understand the snipe comes in and it puts them at a disadvantage. They didn't miss a beat there. They turned things around immediately. Talk about a lucky save for them, as they were on the backside for a moment there.
Oh, what are these just third parties, one after the next?
Oh my gosh.
Greedy gets chopped down to size as well. Raru has to kind of about face. He can no longer go after Kitos, who has a solo, because he has to reunite with Greedy. He doesn't want to have his game end here very, very early in match 4.
For a second there, it was looking like the warm-up games, like straight W key.
But we got a listen in with Hen, seeing how he's doing in the early portions of this game.
On the right, like towards 50.
Yeah.
You're killing me there.
Come on, please be AR. I got AR.
Yes, on the right.
Dead. Kiri.
Just absolute clean elimination right there. That's the way you want to start your games off, picking off damage. Question is, can he get the finish there in time? Either way, 8 players already eliminated here. That's 3 full duos and some fragmented. Let's take a look here. Zone going far north. Things mixing up here for day 2 so far. We'd like to see some variety.
Yeah, we've definitely seen some northeast. We've seen some southeast. Now we're just going to have a straight north for now. It does have a little bit of a western lean, but it could definitely center up. Figure out where it actually goes later on in the game. But Bully and Shadow changing up things just a little bit. Don't want to go against Peak and Vico far too often, but that's 7-man and Cal Gamer that they're going up against, and they're on a hot streak. They're on a hot streak for sure, climbing up that leaderboard to try to get their spot into Championship Sunday. And all Shadow wanted was a couple of tags thanks to that surge, and now he's going elsewhere.
Oh, Mr. Savage has to be careful here, though, deep in the zone, but he is holding things down. Can he get adapter? He does! Swatted out the sky. Nicely done for him. And FKS now back against the wall, hurt as well. Vidil, one of the best to ever do it. When he sees you hurt, he comes in and closes it. Makes it look easy. Let's see, Savage comes from behind here. Yup, he's boxed up. It's only going to take one more shot. FKS is fighting. He's fighting hard, but for how long can he last?
Yep, quick moves by Mr. Savage as well, dodging a lot of those shots.
Okay.
Might have cursed him there, but he goes down nonetheless. Vidil is the one who gets credit. He just took too much damage trying to get that reboot off. He goes down to the storm itself so early on. But that's Vidil and Mr. Savage. This is what they've known best. Even though they wanted uncontested, well, they got it.
Best part about it is they need those points to continue to give them the cushion to go ahead and stay in the money, stay in the save zone. It's nice to be in top 4 now. Should be all he needs. Take a look now at Batman Booga. Rapid, of course, a favorite. NA. Puts in a lot of work here, but Pink on the other side says, hold that thought. We got action, and we have it now. Finds Rapid there. The duo of Batman Booga. Now back against the wall, just a solo here. We'll have to retreat for the moment as there is a duo lurking above.
I'm waiting for this third party. It's actually Kaizen and Clement who are trying to go ahead and use those berries. So that way they don't have to use too much of their own heals. It is working out. That could be the distraction needed for Batman Booga to try to stay alive. And for Pink and Vico, this is a moment for them to stabilize themselves. They started this game in 32nd place, almost a repeat of yesterday with 2 chances left. They have to lay it all on the line. No regrets, no excuses. The time is now.
That's right. Fresh duos rotating in the surrounding vicinity as well. Clement's going to go on up. They say, hey, look, we got the solo singled out here. I think we can go ahead and take advantage here. If they do just that, could put them in the position to have the surge they need. There it is. They trap him from underneath and force him out the box. Batman Booga expending all the metal now. Backs into a corner. The double shot comes through from Kaizen and Clement, and the synergy here, you have to respect it now. This Elim is worth 4 points. They want to close it out or give it back to Vico, potentially now. And Batman Booga will not give it up without a run for it. Kaizen and Clement secure the deal there and earn themselves 4.
They got to be careful, though. Now it's Pink and Vico territory. A lot of that real estate is going to be owned by them, and they know it. So Clement and Kaizen immediately get out, build some fresh spot for them to go ahead and try to regain composure. And with the zone pulling forward, a lot of these teams are going to have to continue to rotate towards the north side of the map, which means Pink and Vico, they have the advantage. They are full health as well. They have all the heals, so they either could stay, try to camp above Clement and Kaizen, or try to rotate first and hold them out nonetheless.
Pink and Vico do need several more slots to go. You can see they're just holding that 30th placement. That's with the 4 that they earned this game off the elimination. So truly and surely they have to get more elims. More importantly, they have to stay alive as Vico is severely damaged here. It's Clix and Epic Whale setting up the ambush nearby, and they would love to pick up some of that sweet material, but no, instead gonna prioritize the rotate out. It's gonna come at a welcome surprise, I think, to Clement or Vico and Pink there. They were definitely damaged.
I will say I do like this changeup coming out of both Clix and Epic Whale. It was in that last game. They were stayed too far in towards Mega City to let all the other teams bypass them. So by the time it was their turn to rotate, they just got held out. They got separated and taken down as Chubbs and Bryce land a monster of a shot. They don't want to continue this fight as solos. Bryce is yet to go ahead and reunite with his teammate. So that's going to be Chubbs just backing up. Bryce, he has his shoulder. I'll watch it. You try to get out. And it's a fight for the forecast tower. So it's definitely something worth the risk if you're ready to gain that reward.
Chubbs and Bryce have had an incredible showing, as have Shalom and MK Papa every single time I've tuned in with this duo here. Today just really has been them finding their stride here amongst some of the greatest. Already at 2 eliminations, a big 8-point game. I'd say this is definitely a team that is jumping onto the radar here now.
That was Pam, Stu, and Fatch that they just took out of this lobby. Pam, Stu, and Fatch have about 48 points, 29th place. The only place they can go from here, though, is down. They leave it up to the last and final game of the day to try to qualify. And from one fight to the next, they run into Pings, who quickly bounce pads out. He doesn't want to have any of that noise. He is a solo, so he's probably looking for a least contested part of this zone to try to go ahead and get his teammate back.
Let's take a look at these elims here that MK Papa and Shalom picked up, because the significance here, they go from top 25 to top 20 here by eliminating Fatch and Pam here on the rotate around the storm line. A very significant pair of eliminations for them here. That could be the difference to their Sunday ride. But now with Fishy and DMK also at 3 elims turning online, they find Epic Whale, and that's a huge punishing blow, forcing them to stop now and heal. We already knew they didn't have many white heals. That's why they were playing the shrooms. So now Epic Whale is truly hurt.
Yeah, this is going to be tough because they don't have the elevation as well. Luckily, though, they are by this Rift Island, so a couple of teams might try to contest it, which leaves an open path somewhere for them to try to find and try to get on track. They started the game in 15th, then they moved up to 10th, but at that last game, they fell all the way down to 22nd place, and the time is definitely ticking for a lot of these teams to claim their spot on that battle bus for the grand finals.
Well, Jacob, let me tell you, the 3 or 4 duos I see nearby all absolutely need this Rift Island, and if you think back to that content piece, this is when it is the most dangerous. You have to be the most cautious going for the Rift Island right here, right now, because you know those 15 points are going to be worth fighting for right now. Datus and Stain recognize that Chubbs is hurt here. They try to go in, but GabZero's not missing a shot at all right now. A very, very great job. So far, so good. But remember, Chubbs and Bryce, they're good. They have the ride to Sunday. They're going to do okay.
Just about practice for them. Still on the international stage. Every moment matters. You said it himself, he's nervous. Now it's time for him to shake those nerves, get ready for tomorrow. And you hear the crowd going wild. Lucy and Steno, they got themselves a nice bit of elevation, but just on the corner of the zone. And that's exactly why they're going to try to disengage off that spot, rotate deeper in. And depending on what teams have the forecast tower, they might try to beat them there, but it is across the map from that Rift Island. So you already know around the 4th, the 5th, even 6th zones, it will pull away from Rift Island.
This is incredible. Snazy, Podesai, Clix, Epic Whale, Stain, Datus. An incredible amount of variety here. Trying to play for the Rift Island. At the most dangerous time to do so as well. This is going to make or break a tournament run right now. Who will secure it?
Even Chubbs and Bryce, they say, I want a piece of this pie. We may have won a game, but we haven't captured Rift Island yet. This could be our chance to continue to add to our lead. And they're ready to fight for it. You see shots coming down from a bottom. There's about 4 teams, maybe even 5 on top of Rift Island. Clix and Epic Whale, they got pushed off of that flag, no longer able to contest it, but at least they have the position high above the rest. And it looks like they're going to try to fight for some piece control, some real estate, anything that they can get their hands on before they look at the edge of the island for more Storm Surge.
A little too passive, though. They're playing the launch pad and not the actual objective. They do have to be careful. You have FHD and Hero looking right on down, slowly maneuvering their way inside. Clix and Epic now second-guessing the decision to be here. Eliminations could be very well worth it, but securing the point seems unlikely at this point, as Chubbs and Bryce are like, hey, we would love to be #1 for the day. Why not put the risk on the line here? Why not risk it all?
Literally have nothing to lose this situation. This is exactly what I thought Clix and Epic Well were going to do. They have just the edge of the zone to continue contesting it, and now they're looking on down below to try to get that Storm Surge, but you can see their awareness. They're constantly looking around. We saw Vasquez go down early on. PHN and Kitos ready to finish off this duo, send them back to the lobby and try to jump up that leaderboard. That is a huge amount of confidence ready to be built.
Vamos, Quito and PHN, well played. Big set of eliminations. It's gonna put them in a good spot. Here's Clement, Kaizen on the move. We already saw the very tough spot they were put in when faced off against Pink and Vico, trying to secure the elimination on Batman Booga. It cost them a lot of material, and now they're pretty much a foot behind. Meanwhile, Pink, Vico coming back here. They drop Miro, take down Cooper shortly after. Look at that. Already done in wraps, and Pink and Vico absolutely needed that one. Huge, huge pickup right there. And for Cooper and Miro, who are inside the top 10, I think they'll be all right, but they'll surely slip down coming into the last and final game here.
It's definitely going to put them on the edge of their seat, and you can see what they're fighting for. Not only the 2 eliminations, which is H points, it's that weapons cache as well to try to bolster their loadout as much as possible. The main thing is going to be those slurp juices to try to keep them alive. They don't want to wait to the last game to make their qualification possible. Way and Frosty, they're stuck on the edge of zone, just outside as well. They got a couple of feet to cover before they find some safety with inside. But even then, once they get in towards zone, their journey doesn't stop there. The zone continues to pull towards the far north side of the map.
The majority of the players are down here as well. Big congestion happening here. It's going to be a very, very difficult rotate for the bulk. See what happens here. But back to the Rift Island.
It's still
back
contested.
to the most contested island. The island where all of the teams on the bubble lie. Mr. Savage has 2 elims. Guess what? One of them is Bryce. Can they get Chubbs here? Can they find their 4th elimination right now? Badil already working his way in. Looking good. Chubbs goes down, but it's not to them. It's to the hands of FHD and Hero here, a team that equally needed those elims. They needed those points, but who secures the loot?
Yeah, I heard it get captured there at the tail end, but I don't know who actually got credit for the capture. We see the loot falling through. Badil and Mr. Savage trying to steal as much of it as possible. Might have been Fahad and Hero who grabbed that one. Clix and Epic Well long gone off of Rift Island. You saw them cover up that bounce pad, and now they're trying to use it. Suns and Anon trying to make something of their last opportunities here on the day. They saw Alex and Worthy qualify out of OCE, and they don't want to leave them as the lone team in the grand finals representing their region. Nice opportunity here to pick up more points. He's going to slip on through. That's Chris on the other side. Suns not only needs the points, but he needs the refresh. He needs that loot that he has in his hands, and Anon, him, can't stay too much longer in this zone before they go down.
Also recognizing the additional damage turning on here. Look at how quickly they're falling underneath the Storm Surge. Storm Surge will, of course, turn on just about 10 seconds. Start dealing tons of damage to the lobby. Huge tag right there, though. That might be a game changer. No, it's only worth 100. Into the zone they go. Here it is. Let's see what they can do.
Hero's right next to him. At least Suns made it in, giving him a shot. But Storm Surge taking him down. One more tick before he goes back to the lobby.
Wow.
He's doing what he can. 40 below, and he barely goes above by 81. The risk versus the reward. At least he stays alive.
That was actually so impressive. Swings through, finds a tag, and slips out before the Surge can actually hit him. He was just a moment away from hanging out in the lobby for a second there. But trouble still looming. Trouble still on the horizon here. Pink and Vico don't stop, though. They are looking to make the dreams and wishes of their communities come true as they're coming right back to it. Let's relive the moment. Let's recapture that. Vico walks in. takes down the 2 from the side. He gets both elimination credit there, and look at that. Feeling very good about it.
I mean, Pink said it himself. What do diamonds make? Well, it's actually diamonds are made from pressure, and he's feeling that pressure now in the moment, using it to fuel himself. I think this might be one of the best games they've had all weekend long. And Monster, at this stage in the game, there are more teams alive outside of that top 25 bubble than teams that are inside. So they're trying to take these last 2 games of opportunity and really push themselves to the limit.
Really changing the narrative right now. Pink and Vico are in 28th now. Right there, really trying to change this whole story around. Half the lobby has just about been eliminated, including some of our favorites, like you said, up inside the top 10. Most of those teams are down and out, so this is really going to allow the funnel of points to flow south to the bottom of the standings, which is going to make the final game that much more tougher to break through into the top 25. You know, it's a very different game when even those that were at the bottom are now starting to pick it up. It only takes 2 games, 2 good games.
It's a recipe for excitement. Players are cooking up a final opportunity here. 27 players left alive, or 27 teams, so that means no placement points have been granted so far. And it's really up until that top 10. Half the points are outside of the top 10. Majority of those points are inside of the top 10. So for some of these teams, just getting these placement points isn't going to be enough. They're going to need top 10 performances, maybe even back-to-back top 10s if they're looking to continue their journey on towards Sunday. Kaizen barely above the damage threshold by 66, but he knows not to make the wrong move, especially this late in the game with so many other teams surrounding.
This is it. This is his chance. This is his moment. If he can take off here, if he can make a big end game, a top 10 potentially, it might just be all he needs. But first, though, he's got to survive here. He's barely up. He might just be able to find DeGuerra here. Great tag there, and he does take him down, and now Rocket rams his way on, up, and out. Can he get all the way to the top? Close enough.
Oh, wow.
Perfectly there. It was nearly over, but even finds a zip line to get all the way on inside. There goes the elimination credit. Alive long enough to find it. Meanwhile, Reason also finding eliminations too. I know we got to interview with our good friend Amar. It seems like all of his hopes and dreams are coming true for the German community out there.
Talk about the Brazil community. King and FaZe finally have some sense of high ground. Saw them far low on the leaderboard with 2 opportunities left. This could be their chance to boost up the leaderboard. Even if they don't get inside of the bubble, as long as they get close, they're keeping the hope alive for their entire region. But just like Perza here all by himself, 5 eliminations so far, 6 as a team, 34 points with a couple of those being placement. He's just waiting for the last possible moment to try to go ahead and rotate. He does have the front side of the zone, so there's gonna be a lot of players passing by he could try to get an elimination on, because with 7 builds, he might need one.
This one, he's gonna have to pick his poison, go for elims, go for the loot, or play for extra. Let's see what he decides to do here. Still trying to make that decision. Not looking to get greedy, though. Instead, he's gonna focus on positioning here coming shortly. This is the last charge in his rocket ram. Meanwhile, Kaizen flying all the way to the front side of zone, puts himself in an excellent spot here. He just sees so many chances to find tags.
Just biding his time, trying to play the smart game, even though he's below the damage threshold. He's not trying to make that leap all in one bound, even finds some minis along the way, gets above the damage threshold before it goes away altogether. Top 30 player situation. He's going to be one of them, trying to put the team on his shoulders, but King and FaZe still find a way to hold on to that high ground. Put so much damage on Yanis, who tried to contest him up there, sends him back down low into the mud.
What a game for Shalom and Papa here. Also ranking their way all the way up right now. Getting very close, getting very comfortable, but Shalom falls is all up to MK Papa here. Has to put the teammate on his back quite literally. They decide, hey, you don't have to save me. I'm gonna try to stay up right here. Clix is gonna fall. Epic Whale has to do it by himself in the end game. He has no build. Shots come from everywhere. Down he goes to his NA friends. TK there. And now, Snazy pulled aside. Another end game for them. This is their moment. This is their chance to do it all.
I know everybody at home can hear the crowd through our mics cheering loud and proud. We already seen Podesai get a massive amount of points as a solo. This time, yes, his dynamic duo trying to go ahead and lead the charge into the qualification spot along with Pink and Vico. They've been doing so much damage all around the lobby all game long, and they don't intend to stop here, especially with 7 eliminations. They already got themselves into the top 10. Now they're trying to grab their last half of those points.
And only one build left. He comes all the way down to low ground. They'll be alive for a little bit longer, but 4 duos remain. One's a single solo in the mix here. In this entire game, Shadow from the shadows, the back of the leaderboards, all the way on up, here to play Epset. He makes an end game. This is gonna surely put him in a true chance for the bubble spot. Down he goes to the hands of Pink and Vico. Pink and Vico have rocketed their way up. It's gonna be such a contentious final round. But first, who will win this one? Who will secure that dub here? Podesai will surely get eaten alive by the storm, and he fails the build there. It's unfortunate here. Comes in through the side, down he goes, and it's now a 2v2.
That's gone, and Pingu at the bottom, and fall damage is real onto Vico, but he gets the trade at the bare minimum, and Pink and Vico take the game. That could have been it, Monster. That could have been the moment where they qualify to the grand final on Sunday, and they're knocking on the door of Acorn and Cold. So I'm gonna throw it on over to the stage where we have Frankie standing by to pick their brains.
I think that might have been the most important victory royale we've seen so far. Boys, I think you were 30th on the leaderboard going to that one. And you, Vico, had the game of your life. How on earth did you manage to get so many eliminations?
It's because Pink's just the go to tarping and everything else. He fully clutched mid-game, I'm not gonna lie.
You did clutch. Talk me through what happened.
I had 7 kills, Vico had 4.
Oh, this is what I've just been told by the producer in my ear. I am sorry. Justice for Pink, everybody. I apologize. I mean, 4 elims is pretty impressive. All right then, Pink, what was your favorite elimination of the 7?
Killing Mero and Cooper, because we had nothing, and I just killed both of them, and it just revived the game. I don't know, bro. God, it's the greatest, bro. My mum's life. Oh my God.
How did you manage to get yourself together to get those 2 eliminations, though? Because you were on the back foot.
I mean, a duo like me and Vico, like, we don't need loot. Like, we have the fragging capabilities. Over the course of the last 2 days, we haven't been able to show it. But I just told Vico, just keep a positive mindset. Like, no matter what throughout the game, don't give up. We'll get them kills. Like, we're good enough. We got them kills, we came back and we won the game. I can't lie, I knew that we would qual. I just had to put the belief into Vico.
Why do you think it did take you so long to put up the performance we know you were capable of?
We were struggling with Surge a bit, and we kind of choked some mid-games, but we got it now, I figured it out, and yeah, it's gonna go better now.
I did speak to Pink yesterday about how you became this unlikely double act and how he's taught you a few things in game. Why don't you tell me what you've learned since joining this man?
I've learned how to use my brain actually, and not just like use my capabilities of being able to fight and my mechanics. So I'm actually thinking more now, and I'm capable of using my brain cells. So.
I'm glad you've learned to use your brain cells. I've got to head back to the desk, but before we do, I know your mum is in the audience. She's always by your side. Have you got any words for her?
Thank you for always supporting me, and thank you for being the best mom in the world.
Well, hopefully that is enough to get you into tomorrow's grand final, because I don't know how you beat a performance like that. Everybody give it up for Pink and Vico!
Let's go! As they stated, they've been trying to put up this performance for 2 days, and now what a better time to do it than on the penultimate game. Double-digit eliminations, Pink and Vico. Let's go, boys! And this is all off the back of Vico's recent win, right? Getting the Red Bull contested overall win. Now, I mean, I don't even know what to say, Levin. What do I say here?
It's just spectacular from these two. The game sort of started, and they were lingering around that 40-point mark, and I was looking at them and I was going, I don't know how these guys are going to call right now. It's not looking good at all. I was getting really worried. Then all throughout the game, Kenny, I just keep seeing their names in the feed, right? You know, Pink throughout the mid-game, seeing his name in the feed. I'm thinking, I know what's happening here. I know exactly. I've seen it so many times from Pink in particular, even with previous duels, but obviously Pink and Vico, where he needs a clutch game, and he's like, let's just key, let's W key, let's just go in and they can do it. They have that fragging ability.
Honestly, Pink is so excited right there, but I think Levin was even more excited. It was great watching that game with him. And I know that you and him talked about the mid game, but honestly, it started from the early game there with Pink and Vico going up against Batman, Bugha, and Rapid. They were able to take one down, but then played it safe. They didn't go on the aggression, which worked out really well for them because then there was a third party that came in and did clean up Batman, Bugha. But then, of course, we saw the eliminations that they got in the mid game, and then in the end game there, they played the mid ground really well, waited for it to be around 7 teams left, and then that's when they went for the high ground.
I think Pink finally knows what pressure makes. It's diamonds, right? And these guys are diamonds, and they've been shining in that game. I mean, the pressure on them. You mentioned, right, obviously, you know, winning Red Bull contested for Vico, what a moment that was for him. Obviously, Pink last year won Gamers 8, right? So, like, these are two players, a rare example of two players on the same team who have won LANs before. They had that experience in the stage, and I just really wanted to see them actually then be able to deliver. So to see them do it now is really satisfying.
And I mean, the whole arena just erupted right in that moment. I gotta relive it, but this time, let's do it with a listen in.
50, 30, 1 HP, 150 on him. The gingerbread, the gingerbread.
My wall.
Conan.
My wall.
Cracked him.
Go.
Get body. Just play for body, play for body.
Get it.
Pop big. Give me mats and I'll lead. It might be a solo on height, by the way. We have height.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, we have height. Spray. Pop big, I'll spray.
No, take my scraps. Right now.
They're
top
fine.
three, top two.
What, 2v2, we should drop down and get side pump. Drop down.
50 wide. Let's go!
The passion, honestly, you won't see passion like that anywhere else. And it's just such a testament to how much Vico has improved, because if you've watched Vico for a while, right? The old Vico before he started playing the Pink, at some point during that end game just would have just lost his head and just gone and tried to WQ someone he shouldn't, overextended, completely lost the game, right? The new Vico, right? He knows when to pick his spots and he takes them perfectly.
And look at that right there, moving up 26 placements to now be in 7th place. That showcases that even though they may have had a rough 3 games, by grabbing a double-digit elimination victory royale, that gets you over 100 points, Zeke.
That's right, and I talked about it right before. 91 was the threshold yesterday, right? All you need to do is have one amazing game and your duo could fall or jump up from outside that top or bottom 25 rather for Pink and Vico. What a moment. But now we have to start thinking about this is it. We're getting ready to go into the final game on the day. The bottom 25 will be going home. As we turn attention to the bubble, take a look. Frosty, KZ, and Wei sitting on 84 points currently, and just start to look out at these names. In 30th place, Moneymaker and Fanyan. Anytime we've seen these guys on a screen, this arena has gone wild.
Oh yeah, and then deservedly so. What an incredible duo right here, and all they need is just a few more points. With this being the final game of the lower bracket, I don't think that they're going to be doing anything too crazy. I think they're just going to be going with what they know best.
The pressure truly is on right now. I wouldn't want to be them. Look, I love, you know, high stakes moments, but I love to watch them. These guys are in it. It's going to be tough.
I'm getting word. This is it. As much as I want to break down more, we are ready for the final game of the lower bracket. So Marina makes some noise as we go up to the casters.
This is the final countdown. It's almost like these are gladiators in the arena right now, putting on a show for us and everybody at home.
Yep, that's right. And that last game really has crunched the standings here. It's going to be so difficult now to make it into the top 25. Here we go.
This is it. The very last chance for any one of these teams to try to make it to Sunday and keep their dreams alive. They got the Axe of Champions up for grabs. The lion's share of $4 million. And I think just as important for these competitors, calling themselves the best in the world when it comes to Fortnite.
That is absolutely correct. The standings, the minimal points required will probably be much higher than 91 because if you compare the top points from yesterday to today, it is so much more closer. That threshold is much, much tighter. This is by far a much more difficult qualifier round to get out of. But first, Yuma, Jama, Moneymaker comes in. Looking sharp as ever here. Gets the first tag, but his teammate is also hurt. Swings around. Can he go ahead and put it all together here?
This is a big battle for both of these teams because this decides if they have even a chance to keep themselves alive, and they immediately get a disengage from Jama and Yuma. Moneymaker's just hot on the heels though. He may not know exactly where he's at, but by going this route, he knows now he has to be in that direction. He spots him out at the tail end on top of the roof. Shots gonna be fired. Jamon taking a lot of that damage. Fanayan there to finish the job. They keep it alive, Monster.
What a well-played elimination right there. Comes in, finishes the job. Nice and easy this time. The shoes on the other foot. They are here to change the narrative, change the story, and they have an actual chance. Well, we already know. You can be all the way at the back. One win can potentially take you to the top.
Yep, and with some of these teams already have their ticket on that battle bus ready. We've seen some reckless play to try to defend their drop spot, but a nice shot from Anon and Sons to deal a load of damage on their opponents. All about how you capitalize on this opportunity now. And you can see the crouch coming out from Anon. He's trying to hide exactly which direction he's going to come from, but FKS doing the same exact thing, trying to peek through one of these windows, and he has a gold sharp tooth. He could definitely one-pump either one of these players.
I'm sorry to say it, but FKS and Adapter just really representing as far as their drop has been better. They have really, really out-dropped Sons and Anon every single round that we've seen here for the most part. This is the first time those Sons and Anon have found a very good and promising loadout here at the Temple.
But the positions have switched. Usually it's Sons and Anon playing from the low ground, which hasn't really worked out for them. Now we have the side angle and a lot of damage onto Adapter. He's trying to follow it up with Combat SMG, trying to get him to expend as many of those resources as possible to make the fight that much easier. A little peekaboo shot from Adapt. FKS trying to clean that one up as well, but they just get pushed right back into the same box. Shields are going to get dropped. One's going to go down. Adapter trying to hang on his final lifeline, but Sons with another angle. They win the most important battle of their day so far.
What an incredible win right there, and all of a sudden now, that could be the run. Dreams shattered. Hopes being made at the same time.
Not too many contested fights actually go down over here towards Brutal Bastion, even though it is contested. A little bit of a north and a south split between the two teams, which kind of maybe explains why they might be lacking a little bit when it comes to Storm Surge versus other contested teams here in the game, but they don't know exactly where their opponents are at. Rolls has the loadout that he wants. He wants to go ahead and pick up that big pot. Side sets the sniper. Cheatin' and Pixie are so far away, and they have that elevation, so it's not going to be an easy find to take advantage of. While Phaser, he found something. Tries to go for a quick couple of early shots. Snazy immediately builds up, takes that elevation away from Phaser. King is a little bit too far away, so if they're able to pounce rather quickly, that'll be two separate 2v1s. But it does look like Podesai is going to go for a disengage momentarily, which allows Phaser to kind of stabilize, reclaim his position, and reunite with King.
Very, very important set of engagements in front of King and Phaser here if they want to make it to top 25. Ping, Kyrie need to do the same here, and the Eclipse state is starting to get a little expensive. A lot of teams nearby. Meanwhile, Edgy falls there. Fights happening here. All in the last game. Pink and Vico taking that heated streak here directly into the next game. Already in a battle. Already trying to turn online here, you know. Feeling pretty good. It's up against Shalom. Shalom made an endgame there as well. That was a big, big turn of events for him.
See Pink and Vico right now. Now that they've more than likely punched their ticket to the finals, playing a little bit more loose, a little bit more reckless, trying to repeat the fragging ability that they had in that last game, going a different direction than some of the other games that we've seen so far. Third party coming in, making NK Papa's that job that much harder as Vico continues to go ahead and push them in, take away a lot of their territory. Pink is on the other side, but he needs to be careful because he's running out of resources to work with. But it does look like it is going their way continuously.
One false move and it could be all over for Shalom here. He has to hit this shot, but he's missing it. Vico finds his first, and down goes MK Papa first. Shalom now solo, but there is a duo starting to fire in. That might be the saving grace here, as they did not get the full finish for Shalom. Back against the wall here. Vico continuing to push in. He's heated up. It's looking good, but these are not his walls. Hurt now from the third party. Back down to the low ground. Vico and Pink back up. It's cost them so much. Heals, material, and everything in between. We know they're top 25. But at the cost of Shalom's game potentially here now.
The mini-map is showing that the third party is getting fourth partied, making sure everybody has an invitation to the celebration, and that allows Pink and Vico a little bit more flexibility to continue the 2v1 onslaught, and they finish the fight. They send him back to the lobby and end the run for Shalom.
Shalom and MK Papa were right on the 13th spot. But if you just took away 10 points, they would be on the bubble, on the line inside the top 20. So we'll see if it can hold up now. They'll have to hold their breaths until the next game. If we saw a repeat of last game, it's gonna be tough.
No, it definitely is, especially now that they have to sit and watch. Only place on the leaderboard they can go is down, but at least they've secured their spot thus far. Source taking a little bit of damage. Taking a few seconds to try to heal up here over towards Steamy Springs. We see Bully and Shadow in their line of sight. Just Shadow, actually. So this kid give Bully a chance to try to alleviate some of the pressure or just continue to rotate as Skits and Soref do go down to Duke and Edgy. Duke got to be feeling himself after that huge 2v1 against his NA counterparts. And just gotta ask if he has the reboot card, because it's a chance to get Edgy back into the game, as it does look like he's going towards the edge of the zone where you'd think some, or at least the least amount of players are at.
Duke, by far, the play of the weekend. That clutch, incredible, coming out of game 3, securing them inside the top 10 so far. Now, the team that probably needs the crowd's energy the most, Epic Whale and Clix are on 24th position. And we want to emphasize, to get out of the lower bracket, you have to get to 25th position or better. They are just on that line. One mistake, and it is over.
You just have to figure out a way to dig deep, get that energy. River and Gazer going up against another duo here. Rapid, Q, and DX. Shots also coming in from around the map, making it that much harder to try to take this one in a convincing manner. But the piece control goes on over, but a great shot by Rapid to go ahead and get a knock onto one. Quickly going to clean that one up for the Siphon. Getting that refresh on the maps as well. You can see he's max. QNDX ready to continue putting down the pressure, advancing forward every chance that he gets, trying to cut him off. River's going to be by himself. A little bit of a miracle is going to be needed, but he's quickly keeping them on the run, going up elevation. Definitely one box at a time, trying to tear down the walls of his opponent, give himself some real estate to work with, trying to stabilize his position. And momentarily, he's going to do just that. And another shot being fired onto Rapid, so the bait and switch is going to come in, and they played that one to perfection to take down River.
Let's go. Well played for Middle East right there. Meanwhile, Tahi has to clutch up for death. This is it. They're working together right now. They find Deguera there on the rotate. Very nicely set here for the rest of the game now. They can pick up these materials. They can pick up the extra finds here. Get right to the zone. Plenty of time to work with as well. This will put them well within the Surge comfort for now.
Saw Kaizen go down in the feed. Clement was also out, but they've positioned themselves on the leaderboard in 15th place. Got to be confident that it is going to hold, but only time will tell as Anon goes down to the deal. Suns as well, so another duo's run here this weekend comes to an end, while another one is shining bright.
Love to root for death. Young kid from the Bronx alongside Tahi, but It's jumping over to Okis, who's trying to put up the solo clutch here. For a moment there, he had a bit more on the standings, but now pressured in by Kitos and PHN. They're working the pincer maneuver here. One wall and two, and Okis now runs, trying to stay up. The early med kit here, they don't want to risk anything, making sure that they put themselves in the most optimal position to win this fight here. You have to respect every pro player that has made it this far in the stage. The best of the best globally here gathered for the weekend's tournament. There is no easy set of eliminations, but Okis is gonna fall here now to the hands of PHC. And just like that, the Brazilian boys gain another. Well played.
Trying to continue where they left off yesterday and go up that leaderboard. FHD and Hero. Does look like they got a little bit of a slower rotation compared to most in this game. Almost uncontested towards the north side of the map, and that's where they're putting their money on to see if it is going to go in this direction. But the only question I really have, Monster, is how much surge do they have? Because if you're going on the slow side, you're not going to have very many opportunities to pick that one up. And even though they have a good amount of wood, full brick, right now they're just trying to get as much metal as possible because they know how useful it is in that end game.
Meanwhile, we get to watch this back one more time. Tahi and Death, how they managed to find their eliminations right off the rocket ramp to set up the angle. Tahi, who came back from an extended break, joins back up with Death in the final last chance qualifier, pushes his way through, and then secures himself the ticket, the ride here to wonderful Copenhagen. And now this is his last chances, his last efforts at play here in game number 5, where they absolutely have to come inside the top 10 if they want a shot. So does Clix and Epic Whale. They just need to play just well enough, just good enough, better than the upper half of the lobby.
Yeah, that's basically two different sides of the coin. Death and Tahi need a VR if they're looking to qualify, or a massive amount of eliminations. You said it yourself, Clix and Epic Whale need to do just enough to go ahead and punch their own ticket there. Stacey and Podesai at this stage in the game, I feel like they did more than enough to find themselves confident to go ahead and play yet another day of Fortnite tomorrow, and a chance to win $1 million as a team. And each placing below that is no slouch either. There's a massive amount of money up for grabs, $4 million to be exact. Seven Man is trying to put the team on his back here by himself. You see he has the vault loot, and he's in 27th place.
Epic Malware just found something there, but Seven Man has the tournament run on his back. Snazy knocked to the hands of Epic Whale, but saved, picked up here. Now starting to run out of heals. They don't have much time. They have to get to the zone now. It's all or nothing, and there it is. Luckily, they were super close. It ends up working out. But Clix and Epic Whale are inside the storm. They're inside the mega city, just coming out a bit late there. So danger lurking everywhere nearby. If Seven Man makes it to the finals and King makes it to the finals, we'll see that contestant again. Grand Final's gonna be so crazy as the new teams are joining in.
Yeah, the storylines are literally writing themselves right before our very eyes. You see Vortex and Belusi go ahead and capture Rift Island, and that is going to be a must for them. They are right now positioned in 46th place. So not only do they need that Rift Island, they need to continue strong in the rest of this game, pick up a huge VR for the placement points. And I even feel like their job won't be done there. They need to sprinkle in a couple of those eliminations as well, but anything is possible. We've already seen it yesterday.
Caught a glimpse of Peterbot there as well. Big strides for Peterbot and Bala in the last half here. And they keep up the pace, but first, YKZ have to do a lot more. See what Frosty's can do. Frosty's got lots to work with here, but the pressure is on as he is on that line. He is the protector of the 25th line, if you will. He's got Rauru just next door, Death and Tahi. All teams that would love to go ahead and find these eliminations.
Have to have a little bit of that goal line defense. Not let anybody squeak past them. And that could be a different type of pressure itself, knowing you are in 25th place. Anything can happen. Peterbot and Byla have shown that as well. To qualify to this stage, the different weeks of qualifiers and the grand finals, they fell short with different teammates. But they went ahead and remembered the recipe for success. When they were teammates, they got a first-place finish in FNCS Championship. The following season, they got a 6th-place finish as well. So they realized what works. And I feel like they're trying to put that to the test here.
This is a duo that was highly regarded on NA to be an elite force, undoubtedly. Now they're joining forces here again today. I got to touch base with Peterbot, and he had a lot to say. His on-camera demeanor doesn't quite show it, but the kid's got a lot of heart and spirit. So far, he is holding that line as well in 21st. King and Phaser, man, they have a huge task in front of them. They need an end game. They need a big, big moment here. So does 7man. 7man is by himself. That is also his biggest problem here, is that if he makes it and 7man makes it, they will be contesting one another. That's the reason they're here today, a very difficult upper bracket.
Yeah, it just really goes to show how much all of these players are tested, not only throughout the weekend, the day, and in this game. Decent amount of the lobby. Let's just say the bottom half of the leaderboard. Some of them are in a big situation with their backs up against the wall. Cooper goes down to 7man. Can he clean up that elimination? That's the question we're going to be asking ourselves. And I feel like I've seen Pink and Vico positioned next to Bully and Shadow almost all game long, all day long as well. They're trying to aggress onto him. Instead of going away, they're trying to break into the box, but he falls too far down. That leaves Bully by himself on the high ground.
The wild part about it is Shadow has that, like, all that potential to really finish the job. We've seen him come back with late tournament strides and key his way through teams. That is where he plays best. But unfortunately, he's caught out, trying to go against the fired up Vico and Pink. They're just, you know, in the zone, in the stride right now. And it's truly showing. And they'll find themselves this elimination. This will surely secure the deal now. It's over, it's done. Bully has to put the rest of the tournament on for himself here. You know, they have to at least be proud that they went from being one of the teams placed last up into the 30 spots.
Yeah.
Can he push a little further? Solo is going to be a crazy task. He's going to have to dig deep to perform that.
You can see a lot of the teams that were on top of Rift Island or around it, they get that far pull towards the south side of the map. Cooper and Miro actually do both go down. 7man's going to clean up both of them. Bully falls as well. Batman Booga trying to hold on to his position. And then we got Snazy and Podesai over on the other side. It does look like they're on the hunt. They have at least one player around him. It does look like he might be a solo. And I wonder if that's 7man who's already been heating up. Well, quickly answered.
7man is playing so well. Those are 8 points. Those are 8 points. He was at 26. That's gonna jump him up. He was 190 damage below. He already found the knock. He finds up Miro afterwards and crushes them at the same time.
Look at his loadout. He doesn't even need any variation of the shotgun either. He goes in for that mythic stinger over towards Relentless Retreat. I questioned it. I questioned it yesterday, and my answer is here today. You can see why he's doing such things, but he's still below the damage threshold, continuously falling. He needs to figure out what he's going to do, and right now he's just trying to pressure a team across the map. Hope some of those shots sneak through. But he has a couple players on the backside. Hannon, Vasquez, Bryce as well. And this could be his opportunity as he looks back to try to get that surge.
But one thing's for certain, this is the best performance we've seen come out the Middle Eastern region as a whole at any in-person event. They have just continued to get better and better, and 7man is truly showing us why they are champions of their region. Although CalGamer is down right now, but he's got to do it again. He needs more surge. 2 eliminations was not enough. Next up might just be Bryson Chubbs, but first, he's got to pick his poison. He's got to move here now, and he's got to move soon. He's one of the last persons here on the backside of the zone.
Yeah, it does look like he's going to attempt to out-heal it, wait for those opportunities for these players to try to go ahead and continue moving towards the zone. That's going to be his best chance to try to strike. He's trying to contain the Storm Surge, but he's still 100 down, 133, continuously falling. A lot of his heals are going to be expended in this situation. But what choice does he have? He's a solo in a world of duos.
Yeah, and that damage that shows just slowly slipping away, getting further and further, looking for any of that leftover loot. He knew that he had something here. There was stuff to spare. Has to pop the Slurp Juice, take the double. I was going to say the double movement potentially, but no. He needs the shotgun. He's got to do something monumental now. Will it be a solo? Will it be a duo he lands on? Let's find out. He finds a team rotating here. It's Belushi and more, but then into the box, and he almost does it. It was so close. He finds Q&D, but Rapid was there to seal the deal, zip him up, and unfortunately, that's it. That's Rap. So what a performance. You have to be so proud you made it that far.
Yeah, just outside of that bubble in 26 is where he went down. And he's doing it with an unorthodox playstyle, not really carrying a shotgun until that final moment.
Oh no, this is everything.
Epic Will, 139 below though. They realize the situation that they're in. Even though they might want to back off, they have no choice but to go forward. That's PH Zen and Keto's on the other side. And this is where they're just trying to back down. They're doing just enough, one foot in front of the other. But if they continue to wait for too long, Storm Surge will activate, and they don't have many heals between the two.
This is so scary because PHN has been on fire, but he doesn't have shields. Clix has to do it. He has to do it here and now, and he does. Puts up the numbers. Well played, but it's not enough. He's still 5 below. He's going to have to heal here and find a tag. Can he get it? No. Shot from above. It's Hen who plays upset Pamstu here. If he doesn't find a tag, it's all over. Epic gets it in the nick of time and enough time to potentially save his duo. Oh my gosh. But Clix is dropping everything. He's saying, hey, you have to stay alive. Play for yourself. Do it here and now.
Yep, this is the final moments. We've seen Epic Will clutch out before in the past, but that's exactly it. He doesn't have any heals to work with. Neither did Clix on his down body, so it's all up from here, but unfortunate. He's just trying to go ahead and use those bounce pads. Every tool he has in his tool belt to try to get there, and maybe even try to sneak attack one of these teams that might know he's there. Perfect rotation coming out from Epic, not really getting tagged up. This is his chance. He's barely on that mine. He's barely on the threshold trying to stay alive.
Stay alive a little bit longer and you can get the placement points. That is truly what he needs to do. He's in 27th. Once he breaks past 25th, every team that falls will be a difference maker. It's all or nothing right now. He is only 91 above, just barely there, but the chance, the opportunity, the hope is still alive. So is Death, another solo who needs to stay up. One more team will be it. Phasers already down. That means King is on his final leg too. King falls as well. And they are down and out. Epic Will is now on that absolute line here.
Wow, he pulled zone as well.
Oh my gosh.
Talk about a blessing in disguise, a miracle even. That's gonna allow him to let some of these teams go ahead, go over his box, under his box, and this could be the perfect moment to catch somebody off guard, but he has to be careful because a lot of these teams surrounding him are going to be full-on duos. You can even see Batman, Bugha, and Rapid there. There might be one player towards the bottom that you try to take advantage of, but it doesn't look like he's gonna peek in that direction. He's just biding his time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
2 points already given to him. 2 more points now.
No.
Top 23, but the surge updates as teams start to fall here. He's the final line. He is the one below. To his left, to his right, players everywhere, but the zone is behind him. And now, off he goes, 200 builds in front of him, showing you guys why he is a 6x FNCS champion. Can he clutch up? Surely he can. There's a player there. He sees the builds come out. It's Freshwood. Can he break it? No. Decides to go for it. 18 seconds now before the zone starts to close and move in. Players jumping everywhere. Zone's on his tail side. Crash pads in front of him. He takes one. Left exposed. He's nervous. Tensions are high here.
Time is definitely ticking. Only a few seconds left before Storm Surge activates. This is going to be the moment right here. It's all or nothing for Epic Will, trying to stay alive. 293 below the threshold. He's trying to move forward. He sees a couple players in front of him. The damage is there. He's trying to do just enough, playing a game of peekaboo, but he's still below the damage threshold.
One tag, but no! Bila finds him! But did he do enough? Did he get to top 20 or not is the question. It's gonna be so very close. How many points did he earn? Back into the game though. The line is there. Peterbot is firing his way up to the top, and he's still going. Finishing the job that Epic left off. A clean finish there onto Rapid.
He's hoping and praying that every one of these teams are below him are getting eliminated by people who already have their spot secured, just like Peterbot and Bila. They're inside of that top 25. They're trying to push themselves even further, and he's hoping that it's them who take down some of these players. Moneymaker, Fnayan are going to be right below Bila. That's one of the teams that needed a big game here on the day. High ground's going to be stolen away from TK and Quanti. One of them's going to go down. The crash landing comes through, but Peterbot just dunks him out of the lobby.
Peterbot turning online now, but he loses Bila in the process now by himself. Peterbot has definitely done enough to get to Sunday finals. At this rate, it has to be. But Grols on the low ground here for Clownski has to put up the numbers. This is incredible. If he does enough, he can actually push players out of their top 25. This is one of the few players that needs a little bit more. But Deal's in front of Peterbot. There's still a few top teams in the running here.
Yeah, there's only just a couple of teams outside of that bubble that need these big points. Top 7. Every single player left is going to be solos. Peterbot falls. He was just on the bubble as well. Noxy getting an elimination onto Lushi. Final 4 players. This is it. These are the moments. Noxy falls. 1v1 situation. Vidil versus Grols. A player who already has a spot versus a player who needs a big win. Grols goes down. Vidil takes him out. But who qualified? That's the question we're asking.
What a well-played fight it was, and Vidil and Savage get a win like we know they should. Absolutely deserving, and you have to give him the crown. We'll be seeing them at the finals.
You can see the celebration, the loudness. Frankie on the stage, let us know.
Vidil and Savage, not only did you just take the Victory Royale, you have also topped the leaderboard at the end of day 2. Congratulations, Vidil. I know you feel a bit on a high right now, but can you put this moment into words for me?
I don't know. It's just funny. I don't know. I just solo win. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the other people doing, but I guess it's worked. It worked, yeah.
You were winning. That's what you were doing. Savage, what was it like watching this man solo clutch?
I mean, I'm speechless. Like, this guy has to be the best player in the world after what I've just seen. Like, I just can't believe my own eyes.
There was a reason that you wanted to duo with him, but did you imagine this moment when you first reached out and said, let's duo?
I had no idea what I was getting into, but this kid... Oh, sorry.
It's okay, it's okay. We'll allow it this once. I want to come to you, Vidil. This is your 8th LAN, I believe, so you've got plenty of experience under your belt, but you have never lifted a trophy before. Can you imagine yourself now at the front of this stage lifting that trophy?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Easy.
And what does it look like to you? What was that feeling in your brain when you think about lifting that trophy?
Well, I don't know. Like, I would be so happy and like so proud of myself. And then, yeah.
And I want to come to you one last time, Mr. Savage, because there have been people in Copenhagen cheering for you all day. What would it be like to hear their voices tomorrow?
I mean, if we could do this tomorrow, that would be, that would be crazy. So, yeah, I'm gonna go back to the practice room now, focus on the day tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes.
All right, we'll let you get back to it. Copenhagen, please, one more time, Mr. Savage and Vidil!
I mean, come on! How else do we want to close this lower bracket? From first place in the last chance major to first place in the lower bracket. This is a story in the making. Congratulations, Mr. Savage and Vidil. I know y'all heard the crowd erupt here in the Royal Arena. My gosh. To come down as well to a solo fight.
I mean, the thing is, though, is that time and time again, these guys have seen themselves in a solo situation. In game number 1, it was Mr. Savage. In game number 3, it was Vidil. But look at Vidil right here with so many eliminations already, and then going into a 5-1v1. He was prepped, he was ready. These guys have already shown they can do it, and then they did it once more.
So locked in, so focused, so ready for everything put in front of him. Again, you mentioned it, right? All throughout the year, we constantly talk about these guys in solo situations. And this is what they do. They deliver. They have these big clutch moments. They like to leave it late, clearly, right? You know, last chance major winners now winning the lower bracket. Doesn't get quite better than that. Can they now win on Sunday as well?
Ooh, I mean, that's the question, right? But really, I just want to talk about how supportive they are of each other.
Yeah.
How much they have each other's back. And look at that first place coming out of the lower bracket with 249 points, but also Agers and Kanata coming in second. We all knew after Major 3 that this duo had it in them, but then they faced the impossible task in day one, going up against the likes of Malabuka and Thomas HD, but we all knew that they were capable of showing up.
100%. I think when you look at all of those teams that were there on that page, right? You know, a lot of these are names that we expected to make it through the lower bracket when given that opportunity, and they have not disappointed. Of course, the main man himself here walking up, soaking it all in. How can you not? He's had so many fans and supporters here today. Almost everybody you speak to, says, yeah, I want to support Mr. Savage. I want to see him qualify. Looks like he's going to be playing.
Mr. Savage, I know you can hear me walking away right now. I want to make sure that you never do what you did on the stage again, and that's sell yourself short. I know he's like Vidillion in the moment, but Mr. Savage as well put on a performance for us. So I'm just looking forward to seeing them tomorrow.
I cannot wait to see. You know that they are feeling so good right now, and I think this momentum is going to carry them into the competition tomorrow.
Let's do it. Let's do it. We got to know the 25 players who has made it on to Global Championships Grand Finals. Here is a look at your list, and I would want to call out one duo in particular. Bottom left, second from the bottom, Rolls and Clown. These guys literally battled it out there in game number 5 of the day, and they literally found themselves in that top 25. They were outside, and in a single game, they said, Grands, we'll be there.
Unbelievable. Grolls and Clown are a duo that if you watch competitive Fortnite in the EU, their name you've been seeing about throughout the year, right? They're names who are in these lobbies and at any given moment can put on a performance like Grolls put on there. And boy, did it come at a good time, right? You know, I spoke to them before the competition started, and I actually asked them, between the two of you, who's the carry, right? Is it Clown, is it Grolls? Who would you say is the carry? And Grolls looked at me straight and said, look, I'm going to be the one that steps up. And here in that last game, to clutch up, to send them through to the final seek, it was Grolls once again.
He played it so smart and so aggressively too, and obviously that just gave them the right amount of points that they needed, but also Stain and Datus just barely scraping by. We saw them have such hot and cold games throughout the day, but when it mattered most, they clutched up.
Such a good story, and of course, Danish fans rejoice. Steno and Lushi will be going on to grand finals as well. There is so much representation. There is so much on the line tomorrow. My goodness, my head is racing. Like, I'm just thinking of everything, all of the things. But what's important about today is for the 25 that did go through. Now you have to level set. You have to figure out what's the plan going into tomorrow. We know there's 25 duos there. What do we need to change up to prepare ourselves?
Well, I mean, the teams that have competed here today have either competed in day one or at least got the chance to see how the teams have competed. But that also works inversely, where the teams in day one now got to watch all the teams compete here today. So any kind of secret strats they potentially have is probably not going to be used anymore. They have to go to the drawing board, look at the VODs tonight, and you know a lot of these players are going to be studying up because there is $1 million on the line tomorrow for that first place spot.
Yeah, 100%, man. Everyone's going to be scrambling tonight, figuring out. Let's establish now what the map's going to look like even, right? Because certain teams, right, are they going to switch up if they're going back to a spot that they were contested at? If you're Vico and Pink, do you now go back, keep going to your spot and try and deal with Acorn and Cold? If you're Cammy and Seti, you're seeing Datus and Stain qualifying, you're going, oh my goodness, not these guys again, right? So, you know, again, you're going to have to spend the night really thinking about how tomorrow's lobby is going to play out for you.
So many things to break down. First, let's get a temperature check. We got to go back over to the Creator Lounge. We have the birthday girl herself standing by, Mama Benji Fishy.
Thank you so much, Zeke. You said it right there. The birthday girl herself, Mama Benji Fishy, the wonderful Mama Benji Fishy. Can we get a bit of a cheer for Mama Benji Fishy? It's her birthday, everyone. It's all for you. Now, of course, this is a global competition. So many people know you from the Europe region. Tell us about yourself if people aren't aware of you.
Okay, so my name is Mama Benji Fishy. I mainly play competitive Fortnite. Obviously not at the level that is here, but that is my aim. That is what I'm aiming for. And my son Benji used to play with Mr. Savage.
Of
course, you mentioned Mr. Savage right there. I mean, you know Mr. Savage well. How happy are you for him to come out on top today and, of course, get that the fifth game victory royale?
Oh my God, yeah, that is like the birthday present I want. Actually, to go ahead then tomorrow and win the whole thing would be amazing. But yes, brilliant. Yeah, that's what I wanted.
I mean, overall, you've been watching from the stands. What's it been like to be here in person, watching the Fortnite event go down?
The atmosphere is amazing. I mean, all the crowds up here and everything. It's just it's not the same as being at home or whatever. Just seeing the whole crowd and meeting the fans and everything and supporting the players and the parents is great.
That's what we love to see now. I'm going to come to you with a question. Do you have a prediction for an overall winner tomorrow? We're hyping things up tomorrow. Who do you think is going to take it all home?
I would love to say Mr. Savage and Vadil, but I don't know. There's so many good teams out there. Obviously Malibuca, Queasy, but then they're being contested, like Canada at Racetrack and things. So who knows?
Who knows indeed. So many questions to be answered, but thank you so much, Mama Benji, for the wonderful interview. We're going to go back to the desk, though, for some more content.
Absolutely. And again, happy birthday, Mama Benji. We love you. Thank you for stopping by. Man, oh man, tomorrow is going to be insane. I want to ask first, how did you guys find day number 2, the lower bracket?
I thought it was interesting. It was a little bit different than what we saw from day 1, which was to be expected. These strategies obviously have to be a little different for the 25 teams that failed to be able to make it straight from day 1 into day 3. And to me, I'm looking towards Agers and Canada. We all had such high hopes for them. We knew that they were able to perform on such a top level, but day 1, obviously, they just faced Titans. And now in day 2, when they had a lot easier of a go at it, they were able to get a second place spot. But Levin, are they going to go back to Racetrack?
Look, that is the question mark, right? That is what everybody will be wondering. I think the big thing for me here today to conclude the day is really just commiserations to all those teams that didn't quite make it, right? Of course, so many winners in their own right who failed to make it through, right? That's going to be a hard reality to deal with. And I think for all those players, you have to understand things didn't quite go your way here, but you don't give up, right? You keep going, you keep grinding, you keep hustling, and your time will come again. But I'm so excited for tomorrow. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and I mean, just to touch on the fact that some of these players are going home, they are still 75 of the best duos in the entire world. So if you are out there and maybe your favorite duo didn't make it and is going home, please still send love their way. They would appreciate it. We appreciate the fact that they are here to compete at this level. I know you're entertained. Now, before we say goodbye, I wanted to send it on over to MDF and Jacob PR to get their thoughts on the day.
This has been probably one of the best days of Fortnite in the history of its existence. I feel like it's my birthday, and these are the presents I've been given game after game after game.
Yeah, it really was a day of celebration. Of course, if you made it this far into the, the stages, this upper bracket to the lower bracket, congratulations, of course, on your year. Well played and well spent, of course, competing. But tomorrow we gear up for our top 50, and the dynamic has changed like we just already touched on. The players that are introduced now into the finals lobby, we'll just see who's contested now.
Yeah, but that's going to do it for myself and the great Monster D-Face. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thank you guys so much. A fantastic set of games on the day, and now we start to wrap things up. The only thing left is to start focusing on tomorrow. These players will have to review. They will have to come up with plan for tomorrow's FNCS Grand Finals of the Global Championships. Don't forget, we're back tomorrow, and as well, as I teased earlier, I've got 2 very special friends coming tomorrow's halftime show. Please don't miss out on that. As always, Fortnite fan, we'll see you here tomorrow. Stay safe. We love you. We'll see you on the battle bus.